Okay, welcome back to Wood and Whiskey. Pretty much my theme is to make things as cheap as I can. Not cheaply made, but like cheap tools, only have what you need. Make your own workbenches, make your own saw table. I'm going to show you all that today. I'm going to show you all the tools that you need to do the projects that I do. Because this is all the tools I got, so you must not need any more. Some of it's a little bit pricey, but the pricier things are more to make it easier for me. Because the faster I can get stuff done, the more money I can make. So I can make my money back that way. Okay? So, up until last weekend, I didn't have this giant table that I just made. But I made this table for about 70 bucks. That's screws and everything. Screws, wood, the whole deal. And this top is melamite, I believe. It's what you make cabinets out of. It's like a plastic coated particle board. And it's two-sided. So if I screw this side up, I can just flip it over. And when I screw that side up, I just go get a new piece and replace my top. I just had to make sure that my gaps weren't too big and that it's flush. It's pretty close, not bad. Over here is the miter saw table that I made. I just bought some of those plastic, sawhorses and made a quick top. Been using that for 2.5 years like this. This is my miter saw that is on its way out because my guard broke off the other day and now it feels dangerous. Very dangerous. We'll see how often I bump into that guard. But I got a new one coming, so don't worry about that. Clamps. This, because the miter saw line goes to 45 degrees. Stick it on there, clamp it to the saw, then you can go, all the way to basically 90. This is the thing that I said was kind of pricey, and I bought a cheap one. And it's so cheap they put this sticker on upside down. So this is my planer. It saves me so much time just because I don't have to sand everything anymore. I used to spend all night sanding wood. Now I just run it through the planer. Everything's the same thickness. Everything basically comes out as if you'd sanded it. So that's handy. If you got the money, get that. If you have more money, get the DeWalt one, because this one, when you feed the wood through, it just poops it back out right here. It all just falls out. And the DeWalt has a chute that you can hook your vacuum up to, or it actually kind of shoots it in one direction. But as you can see, that's about 4 2x6s worth of shred, so it makes a lot of wood chips. So consider that. Alright, now let's talk about the tools. This is about all I got. No, this is all I got. I have regular hand tools and stuff for cars, but as far as the wood stuff goes, first thing, Craig jig. As you can see, mine's broken. It originally had little clips here so that your clamp would stick on it. It wouldn't do that, it would just stick there. And that was handy, but I dropped it and the little clips broke off. But this thing is it's $40 for this kit, plus $20 for the clamp. You have to get the clamp. I tried to do it without their clamp, didn't work. This is the bottom, so here's your thicknesses of wood. So you just see I'm set on 1.5 inches, which is a 2x4. Inside the box comes with the Allen wrench, so you can move your stop. Look in here, you can see it. 1.5 inches, right? So 1.5 inches drill stop with this. Now if you want to go 3/4, everything I do is 1.5 inches for 3/4. So you just loosen that, move it to the 3/4 setting, and then you're good, and then move these to the 3/4 setting, which is all the way in. See? It's the handiest thing you'll ever buy. And to do what I do, you have to have this thing, because it makes the pocket holes to hide all your screws. And these are, every time you buy anything, it comes with a bit, so I just keep all the bits. But yes, that is the handiest thing. With the Craig jig, you have to use the pocket hole screws. So if you're trying to be cheap or get it done on the cheap, buy the big 250 box, because this is just under $20 for 250 of them. The 50 piece box is like $5. It's over $5. So you're saving $5 every time you buy one of these instead of the smaller one. But 2.5 inch screws for 2x4s, 2x6s. 1.5 inch screws for 3/4 inch. So if you're doing like a 1x or a, I'll show you how I use those later when I build the tables. But basically I need these two sizes of screws is all you need. And these are for attaching the tops to the bottoms of the tables. They're internal wrenching and it comes with the bit. These are kind of pricey, but with these internal Apex ones, there's no slipping. So, and they're all knurled, so they're self-tapping, so you don't have to pre-drill anything. Alright, obviously, tape measure. Use the hell of a tape measure. A square, that comes in handy for many things. And then I just got the speed square. I haven't used it for anything yet, but I plan on it. Clamps. Lots and lots of clamps. These things come handy. You'll see in the videos. All of these. Have to have some of these. I have these in, this is a 12 inch. I got 3 24 inchers. I got a 6 inch. And then I got a pipe clamp, which is, it's a 48 inch bar, but it's only like a 38 inch clamp. And then this big T. That's great for marking stuff. And then, so now, glue. I like this glue the best because it's not too runny and it cures up pretty fast. These sanding sponges, get the 6-packs, they're cheaper. Get the extra fine ones. You'll need it for polyurethane, stuff like that. Those are great. And you don't have to use that sanding block, it's a pain in the butt. Alright, what's next? Power tools. I did break down and buy a nice drill because for years I've been using this piece of shit. And I shouldn't call it a piece of shit, it's worked great for years now, no issues, but it's heavy, awkward, doesn't hold a charge very long anymore. This guy is awesome. I would recommend the Porter Cable drill for a lot of reasons. My buddy's got the Cobalt, same, you know, brushless, same type of deal. But when you let go, it stops. It's got like a break in it. His keeps going. And for some reason, that matters. Because I used his and it kept spinning on me. I couldn't get used to it. And I do use both these drills because I usually have the Craig jig bit in this guy because this is a much better drill for drilling, and this is good for running screws in. And this guy it's got 2 settings. So 2 is fast, 1 is slow, 1's too slow, and 2's too fast. So you get a lot of slipping with those square head pocket hole screws. So someday I might get another drill, I don't know. But this came in a kit with the impact driver too. I hardly ever use the impact driver, I don't have a lot of use for it. The drills are all I need. Next, for cutting plywood, I use that quite a bit. But I would suggest if you're doing anything bigger than cutting like small plywood, get a corded one, because I have a regular corded one too. I just try not to use it because it's a pain in the butt. And there's a bunch more clamps. Many clamps as you can get. You never have too many. And then sander. Got a Walmart sander. The reason for the Walmart sander is a couple reasons. One, they are crappy. So they burn out usually within 90 days. And then you can go get another one. So you buy one sander and you can just keep getting a new one every, 2-3 months. This one actually lasted 4 months, so I gotta buy another one. But I've done this like 6 times. So I wouldn't call it fraud or scamming them. It's their piece of shit. They're selling it. And the other reason for this sander is this outlet, my shop vac. Eventually, fits right on there. As you can see, it's pretty tight, so it doesn't fall off. And that takes care of all the dust. I used to do it without the shop vac hooked up, and that stupid dust collector doesn't do shit. There's dust everywhere. Everything was covered in dust all the time, and it was terrible. I thought of that one day, and that's been a game changer. What else? This glass is what I drink whiskey out of, because this glass is not glass, it's plastic. Drop it all you want. That thing's wonderful. I found that in Alaska. I haven't seen them since, but I haven't really been looking. So if you can get a good plastic glass to drink your whiskey out of, that's the way to go. Yeah, that's about it. That's about all it takes. You know, I have some drill bits. You know, everybody's got some drill bits. Don't have to use them very often. This is the type of paint that I use most of the time for bottoms of tables. And then, you know, I stain the tops and use polyurethane. So when I get into painting and staining polyurethane, I'll show you about all that. The other thing, as far as painting, this guy, this is a chalk paint brush that's specifically for that. And this thing covers really well. It holds a lot of paint. So this will save you time if you get one of these. They're kind of, I think they're like 15 bucks, but that's worth the money. I tell you, if it isn't worth the money, I probably don't have it. So trust me on that. The rest of my garage basically is in total chaos all the time. There's all the wood that's too big to throw away because I can use it for something, but it's not big enough for me to use yet. So, but yeah, 2x6s, 2x2s, 2x4s, bunch of plywood. Oh, there's another thing. This rip cutter for the radial saw for that guy, so you can cut straight lines on plywood. That comes in really handy. As far as entertaining yourself, box of wine, Evan Williams, TV. You got a Roku. I like the Roku. Got a stereo. Listen to podcasts. I don't listen to music anymore. Beer fridge. Fan because it's hotter than hell here. This is Florida. If you don't have a sink in your garage, I'm sorry for you, because this would be almost impossible without a sink. It's my toolbox, the top I made recently, and then just projects and golf clubs that never get used because I'm building stuff. Yeah, that's about it. Got 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. So like I said, if you're interested in doing DIY stuff, building furniture, doing woodwork, I'm showing you can do it on the cheap. And if you got more money, then get nicer stuff. It'll help you out. I'm not saying I wouldn't like nicer stuff. I just can't afford nicer stuff. All right. So thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel, Wood and Whiskey, and more to come. Thanks.